Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the Psukim of Bitachon. Today's verse is Tehillim 112, verse 7. Mishmua ra lo yira. From evil tidings lo yira, he will have no fear. Why? Ki nocha in libai, his heart is firm, batuach b'Hashem, and it is confident, it trusts in Hashem. A person who is living in a world of bitachon, mishmua Yisra'a lo yira, he will not fear from evil tidings. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that nothing bad will ever happen to you? Does that mean that your life is going to be bliss from beginning until end? Does that mean that everything in your family is always going to go well? Your panas is always going to be good, and no one's ever going to get hurt, and no one will ever get deathly ill. Your children will be little machines of nachas to their parents. Your friends will always love you and adore you. You'll always have a good reputation. You'll never hear about war or tragedy or curse that goes on in the world. Is that what it means? How could it mean that? Because Dovid HaMelech himself is the man whose life was enshrouded in danger and peril and challenges and hardships and sickness and hated enemies chasing him down. So what does it mean? So on one hand, we have a Gemara that tells us that Hillel was once walking on the road and he was coming to his house and he heard a loud scream. And he said, I'm certain that that scream is not coming from my home. How did he know that? Hillel was a master of Bitachon, and therefore he was certain and he was sure that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wasn't going to bring any suffering to his house in such a way that he would hear screaming like that, and therefore he said, I know it's not coming from me. That's one level of Bitachon. However, the other level which we need to speak about and we need to live with, because this is much more likely, is that Mishmua Ra'a Lo Yira. That means that even if there are evil tidings, even if there are challenges, even if there are tragedies, Rachmana litzlan, even if there is sickness that seems daunting in front of a person, how are they going to be healed? Even if Parnasa is challenging right now and I'm having a hard time getting a job or keeping a job or having enough money at the end of every month to pay the bills, even if there are shemua yisrois, there are terrible tidings that a person hears in the world, anti-Semitism on the rise, inflation going out, skyrocketing out the roof, the Jewish people are the enemies of the world, so on and so forth. A person is lo yira, I don't fear from any of these things. Nochain libo, because my heart is firm, batuach Hashem, I trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Since that I know that there's nothing that would ever happen in this world unless the Rabbi himself willed that it should take place. Since I understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Avarachaman, the Father in heaven, the Master of mercy, who loves us and He cares about us and He only wants what's good for us, I know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would never do anything to pain me unnecessarily, to hurt me if I don't deserve it, to strike tragedy and difficulties if a person wasn't coming to them. I know that everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. And therefore, I'm not afraid when I hear about bad things. I don't start getting nervous and anxious because my heart, if you'll notice, when a person starts getting nervous, what happens? The heart starts fluttering very fast. The heart starts beating. They get the butterflies in their stomach. Their heart feels sometimes like it's falling out of their chest. Not a person with bitachon. A person with bitachon is nochain libai. The heart is firm. It is correct. It is straight. The heart doesn't start pattering very fast, out of control. It stays calm. Regular beats in the heart, the way that it was. I don't get nervous. I don't get anxious. I don't get high-strung as a result, because batuach Hashem, I trust in Hashem. I rely upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And a person that relies upon Hashem, it doesn't matter. You could hear that the world is falling apart. He's not falling apart. Things are happening that are out of his control, and he wishes that it could be another way. He's makabel, he accepts there's things that are out of my control. Right now, that's how it's going to be, and therefore I'm not going to get nervous, I'm not going to get upset, I'm not going to be in angst as a result. That's the person that Dovid HaMelech is referring to over here. That even when he does hear about evil tidings, even when he does see things that are quote-unquote going wrong in his life, even when there are situations that he really wished that that's not what will be happening to him, nevertheless, Loi Yira, I have no fear because my heart is firm and I trust in you, Hashem. We should be Zeicher in Yetz Hashem to reach these levels of Amunah and Bitachon that Dovid HaMelech is referring to, so that whatever is going on in our lives, our hearts remain firm as we trust in Hashem. All the best.